What's going on, guys? In this video we are going to see an example of double integral over general region. Here what we mean by general region is the regions other than the rectangular region. Now let's look at the intervals here. Here we have the x interval that is from 0 to y by 2, and x should be greater than 0. Let's note that one down. X should be greater than 0, and also x should be less than y by 2. Now it's always better to graph this one before we do the problem, and to do that we can rearrange this equation like in terms of y. If we write this one in terms of y, that's going to be y is greater than or equal to 2x, and from this one you can see this is going to be a straight line. That's why we have this one right here. This is a straight line, and this x is greater than 0. It means we have the line going above like this. Okay, so greater, the misunderstanding is it's always, some people think like this below than this, it should be upper, right? The direction is upper. And let's look at the other interval. Y should be greater than 0. Y should be greater than 0, it means in this direction, and also y should be less than 6. So less than 6 mean here. Okay, so this is our region we are going to find. Now let's do the integration. Let's get rid of this part. Now when we arrange the integration, we have to look at the intervals. If you look at the x interval, that is given by y by 2. So when we have the interval given by this, we take the opposite. Like if it's y by 2, we take the integration of x first, and then we do the y. Okay, and for the x, the limits of integration is going to be from 0 to y by 2, and for y it's 0 to 6, and we are going to integrate this region, and that is x plus y, that's given here. Okay, x plus y. Now let's do the integration. Now the first integration we are taking with respect to x, so we treat y as a constant, and when you do the integration, this is going to be x square divided by 2, x square divided by 2, and this is going to be just xy. Okay, and that's going from 0 to y by 2, and in the outside integral is going to be 0 6 dy. Now let's plug these values and see what we get. Here we are going to plug y by 2 first. That's going to be y by 2 square times half, plus, instead of x we are plugging y by 2. It's always better to write x is equal to y by 2, because sometimes you might confuse with y, right? Sometimes you plug this value for y, so it's always better to write x is equal to y by 2, x is equal to 0. So here we are plugging y by 2 for now, so this is going to be y by 2 times y, and when we plug 0, everything is going to be 0, because if you plug 0 for x, that's going to be 0, and here also going to be 0, so we can just neglect that one and write this alone. Here we are going to have 0 to 6, and we can simplify this one. This is going to be y square divided by 8, and in the other side we are going to have y square divided by 2, 0 to 6, and here we have dy. Now to simplify this one, we can take the common denominator. If we take the common denominator as 8, this is going to become 0 to 6 y square divided by 8, and here we are going to have 4y square divided by 8. I'm multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 4. In that way we get common denominator, right? Okay, here we have 4y square over 8, and here we have dy, and 4y square plus y square, that's going to give us 5y square divided by 8, 0 to 6. Now we can integrate this one. Now let's separate this y square part alone, because 5 over 8 is a constant, so we can move it to the front. So this is going to be 5 over 8 integration 0 to 6 y square dy, and if you integrate this one, that's going to be y cube divided by 3, and in front we have 5 over 8, and that's going from 0 to 6. If we plug 6 for this one, this is going to be 6 power 3. 6 power 3 is what? 6 power 3. Okay, let's keep it as 6 power 3. 5 over 8 times 6 power 3 divided by 3, and 8 times 3, 24. 24, and in the top we have 5 times 6 power 3. And if you simplify and calculate this one, if you plug this one into calculator, you will get 45 cubic units, and that's going to be the final answer. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.